Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you guys know, Project 12's for the Coupe has been started. You guys know that I had some tires that were given to me for free. Basically the Mickey Thompson ET Streets. Had the rims, ordered the rims and all that, and couldn't install them because the rears actually had 13-inch rotors. So 15-inch tires, no way it's gonna fit. So just basically swapped over to a stock size rear and was able to fit. But here's the finished product. There's the rears there. And the fronts. Not too shabby. My son says it doesn't look like a street car anymore. But that's that. So those of you that followed know that the other stuff that I had that came from my shipment from LMR was basically torque box reinforcement kit. I went ahead and installed the lower portion of that. I wish I would have taken a video, but we didn't get to the uppers because my son and I are in the middle of a prep. And those of you who have ever done a show know what that's like. So, sorry about that little dog there, a little pit bull that was going to attack me. But, oh yeah. So, in the middle of the show, we're fatigued, barely any food. But, so we got the lower ones done. And I figured I'll do the upper portion, the upper reinforcement kit, when I order a new adjustable setup. The setup on there now is basically it is aftermarket, but it's boxed and it's not adjustable. So I don't know what company it is, that whoever had it before. I don't know what brand that is. Not powder coated or anything special, you know, but at least it's solid. But once I get those new kits in there, new uppers, I'll basically install the upper reinforcement kit. I've decided to go with Team Z for this car here. Everything on the GT in the back there is all UPR products. I'm not bashing on UPR or anything like that. I've been running them for 20 years. Just want to do something different with this car here. So once that's done, I'll basically install that. Aside from that, been kicking around ideas of what I'm going to do with this car for the future. Those of you know, I was talking Coyote at first. But I really know the push rod motors. You know, I've been dealing with them since I was a kid, since I got the first one in '90, and I'm comfortable with that. So my son laughs because my plan is now to go with a 363 setup on there. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the Dart or the Boss Block. You know, see whichever one I decide on, but I'm going to definitely go with a 363. I'm saying definitely now because things always change with my head and when I start thinking. But I'm going to go with 363 with a higher compression. Something I want to get away with, something that can get away with basically pump gas. Hopefully be able to run in like the 11s or so with, you know, decent air, naturally aspirated, and, you know, hit a squirt of juice there and run into the 10s. But that's where that concept is coming from. That's where that idea is coming from. Look at the neighbors yelling at the kids. Help me! So son laughs too because, as guys know, I love my garage setup here. It's this 3-car garage. I didn't get to utilize it too much during my marriage because I always have something going on. Those of you guys that know me, I get into different things like fitness and shows, which takes a lot of time. And then for a while there, I was into the welding and stuff like that. So it's like, man, focus, stay focused. But as I was saying, I love my 3-car garage. My son laughs because during transition of the home of the sale of my house here, I'm gonna have to, you know, store these guys in a storage for a little while, and he laughs because the motor's most likely gonna be built in a storage facility. So those guys that I talked to where I'm gonna store for a short time, no, and they're laughing. They're like, no, we're all cool. Just don't spill any fuel. But what's kind of funny is, after, you know, back on topic of the rims here, when I first got this car back in 2009, she sported just the only aftermarket thing as far as engine wise she had was, you know, the exhaust. She had long tubes on there and that trick flow intake that you guys have seen. She still sported the 19-pound injectors, Pro-Am, calibrated for 19. But the moment I started pulling apart, you know, guys know I went with the E-Cam, 24-pound injectors, and you know, GT40 heads. The moment I went to that swap, the car seemed to run a little bit slower. You know, I think I'm gonna relate that to, at least bottom end wise, you know, the way what you feel in your pants, you see to your pants and stuff like that. I'm gonna relate it to the cam. That, you know, a lot of people say you lose a little low end torque with the E-Cam, which is possible. It's possible, but I've never had it on a dyno. I should have dynoed it before and after just to take a peek. But what's weird is the moment I swapped back into these rims, call it the less rotational mass of the fronts there, she seemed to be peppy again. You know, so we'll see. You know, track's coming up by the end of the month, and hope I don't get tempted to. I know I'm going to be tempted at least one pass to make it on the juice there, but see what she runs. You know, so what I got going on now with this car is I got to go look at my boxes back there. I know I have a new line lock kit that's just sitting there that I had for years that hasn't been used. But I'm going to install that here, and you know, so it helps me with the burnout. I wish I would have taken a video of how I installed the actual torque box reinforcement kit. I did, as I said, run a bead to across it to basically help with its rigidity and stuff like that. I should have taken a video of that, of the install. But that's that. That's where that sits. So got the Mickey Thompsons on there now. Streetwise, she seems to hook pretty good. You know, these were free. My friend gave them to me. He was on a Camaro before. He has a 60s Eros Camaro, and you know, was lifting the wheels with these tires. He only ran less than 10 passes with these tires, and lifting the wheels and all that. But he went back to a full drag setup as far as the backs are concerned. So can't complain about free. So you know, the offset here on the rim here is, I think it's 6 1/4, not 6 1/2, so 6 out just a little bit, you know. But you know what, fender well's already rolled up and stuff like that. Sometimes she rubs once in a while, but you know, she hooks. So that's where that project sits. You know, as I said, thinking 363 in the future. With what heads now? I got trick flows in the back as far as the GT is. It's supported by my boy Ben Alameda Racing. If you guys don't know who Ben is, he's probably one of the guys that people do not know much about, but when it comes to Fox bodies and building not just Fox bodies, I'm sorry, when it comes to 302 engine building, hands down, he's one of the best guys I know. He did the head porting on that. He was accredited for actually being in the 90s, early 90s, actually might be late 80s. He was accredited for being the first naturally aspirated 302 to run in the 9s. Naturally aspirated. He doesn't believe in power adders, so he does the old-fashioned way by building the motors to run their peak and the best without any power adders. So that dude is a guru, man. In fact, he was one of the guys that, when the twisted wedge heads were a prototype, helped design it. Somebody's texting there. Help design, help R&D that, and interesting guy to meet. A lot of stories. Going to looking at him at Facebook and what he posts, man, it's like a different language when he's explaining all the different theories. And to which, back then when he first started doing this, a lot of people were like, no, you don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. But now a lot of main manufacturers are actually doing what he talks about. So as far as heads, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I know the debate of trick flow and AFRs are always there, and debate saying that trick flows can be ported more because AFRs are already ported and whatnot. So I'm going to get a 4-on-1 with him. I'm most likely going to go with those AFRs. Which ones, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But you know, once I start building this 363 here, main thing is keep the AC, because I enjoy running her, and then see how long I keep that old TKO in there, because it's fun to drive with that. But everybody knows you want to go fast, you got to go auto. Not to say you can't go fast and stick. It's just a lot more challenging, and sure, it takes a lot more driver consistency and skill. But you know, we'll see. I just enjoy banging gears for now with this thing, and then take the auto when the GT out when I want to. So that's where this project sits. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Like and subscribe. Watch me try to reach the goals of 12s naturally aspirated. Who knows, we'll be able to hit it out here with the air right now in Arizona. It's unlikely, but we'll see what she runs. If she runs 13s, I'll be okay. Which a lot of people laugh, but hey, anybody can throw money at a car like I'm about to with a 363 in the future and run fast. But to do the best you can with what you have is definitely impressive. Definitely impressive. So follow me along with the quest to run 12s with this guy. This 1,000 mile motor, GT40 headed E-cam car, and see where it takes me. Thanks, guys. Take care.